Gestating the Curious Minds involves adult themes and situations. Just a warning. Welcome to Gestating the Curious Mind, where we have our own little offshoot here. It's like the Fear the Walking Dead moment. We're doing a little spin-off, so to speak. Yeah. Because we discovered that writing dumb stories is indeed a group effort. Today you have myself, Gertie, my beautiful husband, Glenn, and our esteemed guest, Elton.
Oh, boy. That's a heavy lead-in.
Elton, tell us where you're from.
Tell me where I'm...
Sell yourself.
Tell you where I'm from? Do you want like the mythos, the legend I've built, or do you want the reality of it? You want the mythos.
Or the podcast.
Oh, the podcast.
Which one are you asking, Gertie?
Yeah, there's
the podcast or where he's literally from?
I can intertwine all of them.
Tell us your exact location. No, please give us your podcast information so if people like you, they can find you.
Oh, no one is going to like me that much. So my podcast name is Elton Reads a Book a Week. I just talk about books that I've read and say dirty things during the whole podcast while I do that.
And my complaint is you do not read a book a week. It's like once a month.
No. Me, I read 3 books at a time.
Oh, for Christ's sake.
Yes.
Here we go.
Yes, but the what I make the podcast episodes out of is books that I have read. Yes, I've read them, and so I do an episode about them, but I don't, that's not the book I finished that week. No, I just... So
all right. So you're basically the title of your show is just you bragging.
It's a fact about him, and then the podcast has nothing to do with it.
You should call your podcast. I don't normally watch TV. I have a TV, but I keep it in the closet. I only bring it out for guests.
That is a long title, sir.
Exactly.
It's very catchy, though. It rolls off the tongue.
It does roll off the tongue. Yeah. All right, well, go back to leading the show. So he said his podcast.
Yes, I did.
So normally we write smut, but we've decided that we want to delve a little bit deeper into Matao Gibbs' lore.
The ghost.
So for potentially people who have been listening for a while, you might know who Matao Gibbs is. He has had a role in every single story we've written.
Nobody's listening.
But he's this recurrent character that we just, for some reason, really love. We've fallen in love with him.
He fingered a woman by projecting his spectral hand inside her body.
No, that was cunnilingus.
Oh, that's right.
He placed his entire face into her pelvis. As one does. We're talking about refined literature here.
Yeah.
Okay?
Really thought that out.
Yeah. We want to explore a little bit more of his living nature.
So like a world building or...
A little.
Yeah. This is a love letter. This is going to be a multi-part love letter to Matao. We're gonna, I think,
salty.
Kind of just go through his life. I think at this point we want to start with him as a younger child.
Yes.
And Glenn and I already wrote up kind of an outline, or we discussed an outline earlier.
Yeah.
And we've yoinked you into it. So.
Yeah.
Welcome.
So for people that are not familiar with Matao Gibbs, which is shocking because so many people listen to this show, Matao Gibbs is a ghost from the very first Paranormal Smut we ever wrote that falls in love with a woman named Hattie.
That's not even true.
Yeah,
that's
I got that completely backwards. It was Batty for Hattie, but Matao Gibbs was a ghost that was around. He used to be, as an adult, like a leather purse maker. Is that how the story works? And then he was trying to impress a woman, so he was juggling purses and accidentally choked on one and died.
That's how. Yeah, we found that out in Batty for Hattie. Found that out as if we didn't make it up. Yeah. But that's what we decided. But in subsequent novels, he has had different roles. He's mischievous. Mm-hmm. He's got a bad attitude. He plays hard. He fucks hard. So,
as one does, yes, as one
should do, yeah.
So we've decided that we want to explore his living years.
So we're starting out with childhood.
We're going to start with childhood.
So Elton knows. We're going to basically write the story of his life over multiple books. But this first one is going to be his childhood. and we were trying to decide, like, what do we do with this? Because if we try to write one story of his entire life leading up to when he died, it's just too much and it's too long and whatever. So we decided we're going to start with his childhood. Mm-hmm. We thought it'd be funny if we did it like a sitcom, where there's the main character, there's an A plot and a B plot. So the main character is Matao. Mm-hmm. He's the son of a prostitute. So he grows up in a brothel. Mm-hmm. So it's kind of that classic story of this like boy growing up in a brothel.
Like
it's
Richard Pryor. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, like Richard Pryor. There you go. I was thinking Don Draper from Mad Men, but yeah.
Oh, man, I've yet to see that show. Okay.
It's okay. But anyways, and so then we were thinking it'd be funny if it's like Mateo's playing and doing whatever, and then like the mom comes into the apartment in this brothel and it's just like, boy, I've had a long day, like fucking people. And then it's like, oh, okay, and you kind of tell a little story around that. But then eventually the dad comes home, so the dad also lives in the brothel with the mom. He's like, boy, have I had a long day. And so, and then there would be like a nosy neighbor, which we thought would be funny if the nosy neighbor doesn't know that they live in a brothel, but they suspect Mateo's mom of being a prostitute. So we thought that'd be kind of funny, like a running joke. And so, Gertie, what was the A plot?
So our A plot is that the father's a merchant. Canonically, we've decided, and that's why Matao ends up as a merchant in the distant future. So he is doing a shady deal down at the docks. He's trying to get a leather shipment. But there's some kind of hijinks, and he is working with this guy where he thinks that the guy's giving him the leather shipment he ordered, but it turns out it's drugs.
Like a lot of cocaine.
Like a lot of cocaine. Yeah,
as
a
one
lot
does.
of cocaine. Yeah, yeah.
Exactly. I love that that's your catchphrase for this episode.
As
one does. Yes. Wait, what time period are we talking about here?
What time period are we talking about?
We haven't decided. I don't know, 1300s?
Yeah, it's
Black Plague times?
So
Yeah,
like pirates and
like
stuff? Right? Or is that 16?
Maybe, yeah.
Sure.
1300.
This is definitely a long time ago, because Matao was from colonial times. I can't remember what time period you put Matao in.
Batty for Hattie was written in colonial
that's
times.
right, that's right.
So
he's
dead.
been a
Okay.
ghost
Yeah.
for a
he's
long
already dead
time.
for a long time.
So we have to
Okay.
go deeper than that. And I think the Black Plague would be a great backdrop. The
That'd be a
girlies
great
get it.
backdrop. Like, oh
Yeah.
boy.
Yeah.
Man, people are dropping like flies out there.
Yeah.
Wait, so,
We'll save it for the show.
so this is okay.
This is the show.
We start? Do we start? We're starting.
We started.
It's in it.
Yeah,
so,
we started.
So 1300s Black Plague. This is European based, right? Is it in Europe?
Yes, we decided
of
he
course,
was
yeah.
maybe French.
Sure.
French. Oh.
Do we want to change that? We can make him Italian because that works well for the Black Plague.
Oh yeah.
okay.
Italy.
Because
Yeah.
the Medici family and whatever.
Oh, okay.
Venice.
But yes,
Throw Venice.
the cocaine.
Oh, yeah, let's do Venice.
The cocaine portion was so that's the A plot is the dad is trying not to be caught by the cops for having a shitload of cocaine.
Yeah.
So they keep coming in.
If you're going for
into
zany, I would try and think.
Yeah.
I would try and say that maybe someone within this doesn't know that it is cocaine, and then have someone do the cocaine.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so we'll
Yeah.
get there.
What's
But then,
with
so
all
that's
this
A
powdered
plot.
I'll make
sugar?
note of that.
Yeah,
I'll
and
make
then-
note of that.
A plot is
Yeah.
dad trying not to get caught with cocaine, even though the police keep coming in and ignoring the fact that they're in a brothel, which is probably illegal at the time, and looking for cocaine. So hijinks. But then what's the B plot? And then we'll get into the story.
The B plot is that Matao and his mother are trying to throw a surprise birthday party for his father.
That's right. And almost get caught all the time.
Yeah, so they're all sneaking past each other. The father's hiding the drugs, and the family's hiding the party.
Oh boy.
And then at the end, it explodes. Because it could be one of those, pointing Spider-Man.
Oh, sure.
Where they're like, you already know the secret. You know the secret? I was trying to hide it from you. I just wanted to support the family. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
And then there's a cop and the whole thing fucking bricks of cocaine that are kind of meant to make it look like a woman to hide it.
Yeah, he's trying to hide the cocaine by
Yeah.
forming the cocaine in the shape of a woman. And the
Just
cop's like,
under a
oh, yeah,
blanket.
she's real hot.
Yeah. Yeah.
Putting it
Okay.
under covers.
All right.
Shape. Yeah.
Exactly. All right, so let's make our outline. We'll start from the beginning. It opens with Matao doing what? Sitting on the floor playing jacks? What do they do back in the medieval times?
I would say
playing by himself in a whorehouse.
French kiss rats.
I would say he was playing. He's playing marbles to the tune of headboard smacking the wall.
Oh, there you go. Perfect.
That makes sense.
The bang, bang, bang of the headboard. Yeah,
or maybe
exactly.
Maybe a bouncing. I don't know when rubber balls were invented, but he could just be bouncing a rubber ball every time it hits, and pissed when he misses.
Oh,
and
yeah.
When he gets off rhythm.
Well, they don't have a.
Every time
rubber.
the marbles clink against each other. Yeah.
I was going to say, instead of he's playing jacks, but instead of a rubber ball, because it didn't exist, he's just got a rock. So it just keeps dropping straight on the floor and staying there.
But that's extra funny because then, like, when they come out, of the bedroom, the mom can be like, that was a strange rhythm. Because that doesn't align at all with anything that would be reasonable.
Yeah.
Or he could be like, Mom, you're off your game this time.
Flicking marbles. Yeah.
There you go.
You usually have more gusto.
Maybe you're low on vitamin, I don't know, C. Whatever gives you scurvy. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, vitamin C prevents scurvy.
Yeah, maybe she comes out of the room, complains about the rhythm, goes to they don't have ice boxes, but just pulls out an orange, eat this, and then goes back to fuck more guys. We don't want you getting scurvy.
Scurvy's the scourge of our times.
Weirdly, not the Black Plague, but
yeah, no, they're not worried. They don't even know what the Black Plague is. They just know people are dying.
Maybe they just think the Black Plague is just a different version of scurvy.
They just think the Black Plague is because people don't pray hard enough.
Exactly.
They'll be like, Mother, you need to pray more, or the Black Death will come. There you go. Yes. Next.
Maybe when the dad comes in, the dad's just like, oof, what a long day. Have you guys been praying? Good. Okay, good. You prayed enough times.
Did you guys pray? Did you guys pray against the Black Death? Okay, good, because we don't see it here. That would affect
I did it at work. Are you guys doing it at home? We got to make sure we're praying. But actually, so maybe the mom comes out, says whatever, and then does she bring up the birthday party idea? Like, it's your father's birthday today. Maybe we should surprise him.
Well, she can say, yeah, it's been a long day, and then as she's eating the orange...
and praying?
Yeah, she can comment that there's still so much to do because they have to plan this birthday party.
Here we go.
Okay.
She comes out of the room. He delivers his line about being off rhythm. She's eating the orange, and she's like, well, there's another $5 to put into the kitty for your father's surprise birthday party this evening. And then,
there you go.
And then
5 ducats? What's the money that we're talking about?
I don't know. I just know.
Are we talking Shakespeare money?
Shakespeare.
Is it lyre? Lire for Italy?
Lira? Oh, it's Italy. Yeah. Is it lira? So I just looked it up. In medieval Italy, the Florentine florin, or the Venetian ducat, or the Genoese lira.
They are in Venice, we decided, so it is a ducat.
It's a ducat.
Look at me with my fucking Shakespeare.
Look at all them ducats.
Yeah, look at you. Look at all those ducats.
Okay.
Ooh, there's a whole Wikipedia entry on history of coins in Italy. Go on. So now, she says, we are got to plan your dad's birthday party.
Yeah, another 5 ducat for the birthday funds.
There you go.
And then, does Matao cough up a little blood or something?
Jesus. And she's like,
maybe
growing
a cat.
up. Yeah.
Oh, look at you, you're a grown boy. Yeah. What if a cat walks by and just coughs up blood and then keeps walking?
Hacks up blood in the mouse, and then the mouse also hacks up blood.
Yeah, the mouse also. I love the idea of the mouse. Everything has the plague. A cricket, cheep, and then coughs up blood. Yeah. Cheep. Maybe somebody's walking outside the window going, mail for you. I got mail. Coughs up blood too.
Yeah. No, that'll be, let's make that the thing.
Everyone's coughing blood while they talk.
Intermittently coughs blood.
Here's your mail. Any dead to declare?
Yeah, exactly.
Any dead to throw out in the streets here?
Yeah. Oh, you go on, get out of here. You're bad luck. He's like, oh, I know I am. Cough, cough, blood. Okay, I'll see you guys tomorrow.
All right, see you tomorrow from here.
Yeah,
God willing.
Yeah, exactly.
See you later.
So
or maybe not. And then,
Or maybe not. I don't know. Yeah, we're all dying. The dad walks in. What a long day. Coughs up blood.
What a long day. Thank God. There you go. See?
Yeah. Exactly. I'm still alive.
Maybe Mateo asks if he can assist with baking a cake for the party.
But should it be ridiculous ingredients like mud and the hair off of a goat?
Well, yeah, it's Venice, so it's got to be like Venice in the 1300s.
Yeah.
So it has to be like rough ground millet and.
What if they got the recipe from a witch and it's just a spell to ward off?
Oh.
What if the witch is the nosy neighbor?
Oh yeah, there you go. And
like, I'll curse you.
And that's it.
Like, I'm pretty sure you're a whore.
She's an all-powerful witch, but she's also really unobservant.
She doesn't know she's living in a brothel.
She says the name of the recipe in some traditional Latin or another, and it's just a cake for a whore's death. And then
but luckily they make it wrong. Yeah, cake.
And she's a witch, but she doesn't like whores for some reason. They're all,
For some reason, she doesn't like whores. She's really against them, but she doesn't know she's living in a whore house.
Yeah, she doesn't.
She
just has like a really cheap apartment. Yeah.
She's mostly blind. And she just...
Oh, she could be mostly blind.
And she's
I
like,
keep smelling puss all the time.
Yeah, it is very loud in here, and it
dirty
smells
puss
like
in
sex. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, exactly.
So much banging on the walls. What are you doing in there?
Yeah, the nose. Yeah,
it's only hay and mud. How can you bang against it so hard?
She keeps
what are you
banging
doing?
back with a broom. She's like, I'll give it right back.
I love it. Every time she hears the banging, she takes her broom handle, like, shut up, and keeps banging back.
Like they're doing it on purpose.
Trying to hang up a picture for 40 minutes?
40 minutes.
Hanging a picture.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, it's
what is our witch's name?
Oh, what's the witch's name? Elton, you
What's
got any ideas?
What's the stupidest Italian name you can think of?
Oh, man, Italian. Esmeralda.
Or is she not Italian?
Oh, what was
Gladys.
it?
Esmeralda. Gladys.
Gladys the Witch.
My favorite Italian name. So I was joking with Gertie one night because I bought a pair of pajama bottoms that have the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles on them.
Oh, yeah.
And so then I was saying, like, well, this one's Leonardo, this one's Donatello, he specializes in this weapon. And then I go, and my favorite, and I pointed at one head, and I go, Giovanni Ravisi. He uses a pool cue.
Yeah.
So maybe the witch's name is just Giovanni
Ravisi.
The full name every time. Don't ever just use the first name.
It's
always
Giovanni Ravisi.
Yeah.
No, I love that. Okay, perfect.
All
Giovanni
right.
Ravisi.
So the mom says, we got to bake a cake for Dad for his birthday. And then what? Does the nosy neighbor witch poke her head in? Smells like puss in here. What are you guys up to? Like, we're trying to bake a cake for the dad's birthday party.
Oh,
like,
yeah,
I got
there
a
you go.
recipe for you.
She pokes her head in there, and she's like, I swear there was fucking going on. And then they're like, no, nothing like that. Hey, we're looking to make a cake for Dad. We don't have any good recipes. Do you know any? You've been around a while, old lady. And then she's,
Yeah.
And
then
she's
under
like,
her breath, she'll say, like, oh, I'm going to make a cake that kills horse.
She's like, oh, do I have a recipe? And then, comes back with the Latin thing.
Giovanni Ravisi is banging on the door. They open it.
Yeah.
And what does she say? Like, it smells like pepperoni and onion pizza in here? Like, what is her...
Well, no, she could say, because it's like a sitcom, so it's very dumb.
Yeah.
She could just be like...
The thing I said wasn't dumb enough?
No, I mean, it's dumb. But, like, she should open with what her thing is. Like, don't be subtle about it. Be like, I know you're a prostitute. You're like, I know you're having sex with people in here. It smells like pepperoni and whatever. And then, the mom can say, no. and then talk about Dad's birthday. And then maybe the witch under her breath is like, I don't know how to spell out that the witch doesn't know she lives in a brothel. And she's convinced only one person is a prostitute.
How do we make it?
So she'd be like, I'll get a recipe for you. Then she'll turn like a little aside, like a little sotto voce. And she'll say, I'm gonna get the cake that kills whores because I'm convinced she's a whore, even though the rest of this place, everyone's fine. And I know they're not prostitutes. I don't know. I don't know how you spell it out.
She can dodge it by saying, yes, I'm cooking for my husband's birthday party, right? But we need help with the cake. Do you have a good recipe?
Yeah. And then that's when and then that's when the witch has got to say, like, I'm going to give her the recipe for whore killing cake.
Like, I have a recipe for killing whores. Yeah. And then they'll be like, good enough.
Just says it out loud. I know, but it'd be funny if she's like, the key to the whore killing cake, to herself, the key to the whore killing cake is goat's milk or something like that. And that's the one ingredient. Love. Yeah, there's got to be a missing ingredient that keeps it from killing her.
They can't.
Then it could just be love.
They can't. They can't find the special flour she tells them to get, so they use cocaine instead.
Elton, nice word.
Yeah. He's a kid and he doesn't know. He's like, what's it look like? And they're like, it's white. White consistency. And he's like, I saw some of that earlier.
Yeah, so he puts cocaine in it. Yep. In the end, the mom, dad, and Matao can be just like talking fast, like doing cocaine logic talking.
Yeah.
And you're like, we got to open up this space. I think this apartment needs more levels. It's just like all sorts of crazy talking.
Because they've been freebasing cocaine all day. It's just baking in the oven, and the whole apartment is full of cocaine vapor.
They're talking about like scripts for movies they want to make, and just all sorts of fast talking. Yeah. Like the dumbest shit.
Here you go.
Okay, so
they
before.
Yeah. They put the cake together. Maybe one of them spots an ingredient that maybe the dad sees an ingredient he doesn't like. Or, oh my God, I remember that, it's disgusting or whatever. So they're like, fine. So Matao goes around and gives it to all the neighbors, and everybody starts fucking really fast. And the witch is like, the fucking picture's getting hung up double time now. What the goddamn?
Every other house on the street is making everyone's hanging pictures, and I can't stand it.
Why? What's with all the banging now? God damn it!
Yeah. Yeah. No, so that's a good ending. I like that.
You get it backfiring on the witch lady.
Yeah, for sure.
Yep. They go all night now.
Yeah, exactly.
Everybody had the cake. They're going all night now. God damn it. There you go.
Yeah, exactly.
And then
I also like the idea, so with this witch's recipe, they couldn't get finely milled flour for whatever reason, and they saw the cocaine and they were like, oh, that must be flour, right? But it also includes sugar and frog farts for lift because they don't have, something to lift it, and they have no problem finding the frog farts. They're like, oh, that's
that's easy. I can go squeeze a frog right now. I can squeeze a frog under 20 minutes. I can get you 5 frogs. I'll squeeze a fart out.
I can get you at least 5 frog farts.
Oh, here you go.
Yeah.
So maybe the dad recognizes the name of the cake because they tell him, because the witch told them what it was, and he's like,
it's just called whore killing cake.
Yeah, he's like, hey, I know the name of that cake. It's to kill whores. There are no whores here. And the mom's like, you're right. There aren't.
The dad doesn't know that she's a prostitute. Even though he lives in a brothel, there's women all over the place.
So she's like, I better just give this cake away. Matao, take it around to the neighbors, see if they want it. And he's like, all right.
Yeah. And then everyone's getting high on cocaine. I love the idea that nobody knows that the mom is a prostitute except for the mom and Matao.
Except for the kid.
And that's it. Yeah, and all the other prostitutes in the building. But, the dad doesn't know, the neighbor lady doesn't know.
Well, she suspects, right, the witch?
she suspects just her, not anybody else in the building that she lives in, which is what I thought was funny. Nope. Gertie's got something. What's wrong?
Apparently, tiramisu was known to be an Italian dessert that was born of the brothels because it was supposed to be an aphrodisiac. Ooh. So the term putana, which kind of refers to like a whore, is kind of lumped in with that. So that's actually really, so instead
really
of a
cake,
funny.
They're just making tiramisu because that's what brothels know how to make.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
is it
should
really
I
an
look
aphrodisiac?
it up? Should it be Italian or should it be Latin?
Well, just say that you could just say the name in Latin. I mean, well, that's probably a rough translation, I guess, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, let me pull up good old Google Translate for that.
This is one of those gaps I edit out later.
So are we going to cut over to the wharf where the dad, we don't know his name. Who's everyone's names? We haven't picked any names.
How about Zephron, like Zac Efron put together? Zephron.
Yeah. Okay, Father Zephron Gibbs. And then what's his mom's name?
Oh, man.
Botticelli.
There you go.
Botticelli?
Botticelli is an actual, like, famous artist.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Botticelli.
No,
okay.
we don't have to do Botticelli. Let's do...
Botticelli Gibbs. Zephron and Botticelli, what a beautiful couple.
Then instead of the dad walking home, or walking in the room, it could cut over to him being at the docks. You know what he should do? He should come home, because it's supposed to be like a sitcom. So it's like a 3-camera, 1-stage thing. Mm-hmm. So the dad does come home and go, boy, what a long day. And then talks about what happened at the dock. What are you doing? Gertie's doing a lot of research right now.
How do you say this?
Yeah.
Horror killing cake. Placenta meretricis Nicandi? She's doing Google Translate into what, Latin?
Hang on, let's hear it said.
Hell yeah.
Hang on, let's try that again.
Placenta meretricis necandi.
Oh,
Placenta meretricis necandi.
There you go.
That's horror killing cake?
That's what Google Translate says, so
okay,
I'm hanging
that's
my hat
officially
on
it.
There you go. That's the horror killing cake.
Recipe for placenta meretricis necandi.
I would love it if, like, when the witch says, yeah, I got a recipe for those words, and then, but then later the dad's like, hold on a minute, I know a little bit of Italian. That means whore killing cake.
Yeah, whore killing.
They're all speaking English.
Yeah.
He happens to remember a little bit of Italian.
Wait, is the husband like a douchebag, or is he a nice, just a not so quick fella?
I'm imagining just the sitcom dad where they're always getting into trouble and making things more difficult than they have to be, but they're not necessarily malicious.
So kind of like a Homer Simpson?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Kind of bumbling.
Yeah, just useless.
Sure.
Yeah, but not
Bumbling
unpleasant.
Sure.
So are we going to...
So I'm just saying, where did he learn the Latin from? Is all.
Don't have to
the
explain
church.
it. Yeah, don't have to explain it.
I don't know.
Because they live
it's
in
the
Italy.
1300s.
They should all be speaking Latin, but they're not. And so whenever anyone says anything Latin, they're like, hold on a second. I know a little bit of Italian.
I've read the Bible.
I've read the Bible in Latin. I think I know what that means.
Yeah. I'm really curious about the origin of placenta now, but I don't have time to dig into that. We will do that on break. So are we going to...
That's a weird tangent, that is.
Yeah, I want to know why it means whore.
I want to know more about placenta.
But anyway, I got to learn more. So do we cut over to the wharf where he's waiting for his...
It would be easier to write if the dad comes home, boy, what a long day, make a joke about how he doesn't know he lives in a brothel. Like, why does it smell like puss in here? Like, oh.
Why does it smell like...
pepperonis and
pepperoni
whatever.
and onions in here.
Yeah, and so nobody knows except for the mom and Matao that she's a prostitute and they live in a brothel. So you can make that joke, but then also the dad can be like, or she can say, why was it such a long day? It's like, oh, I was down at the wharf, and he can explain the scenario. Now I'm stuck with all this cocaine. As opposed to jumping to a different scene where you got to, like, write out the whole
Here's what
scenario.
you do.
But that's the sitcom. That's the sitcom angle of it.
Yeah.
You see Kramer doing something stupid, and then you cut back to the other plot.
Oh, sure. Okay, sure.
Yeah, you can be
you're
like...
the one writing it, so...
You're like, I had such a rough day, let me tell you. And then you cut to the wharf, and then someone's like, what are we going to do? What's all this white powder stuff? And he's like, I don't know. And then, some guy takes a whiff of it, and he starts working very fast. And then he's like, someone is like, Jesus, he works half that fucking thing all by himself. And then they're like, we can't let this get out, man, and they're going to expect us to work twice as hard like he is. Take it home.
I like the idea, so that's a great idea. We're keeping that, but I want to add to it where the example is when the person takes a sniff of it, he starts working really fast and also talking about how he's going to change up the entire game of limericks. Like, guys, I'm going to start doing dirty limericks. It's going to change the entire industry. Like, people are going to be doing dirty limericks. And he's like doing coke talk, where he's like, and I was thinking also, like, we should all just start wearing the color blue all the time. Just things like that.
Or he starts talking about, like, you know what? I've seen the future, fellas. It's books. Pages in binding. And, there's going to be so much information going around. We're going to be sharing everything. And they're like, I think he's crazy talking. And then...
He's talking crazy. And he's like, how am I going to get my dirty limericks out there unless people are reading them in the books that I produce? Guys, we're going to change the entire world tonight. As he's working real hard, pulling up fish.
And they're like, we got to get this off the dock before the boss finds out. Zephron, get this the hell out of here, man. He's like, what am I going to do with it? And then, he's got to hide it. He takes it home because it is product. So he's got to be like, I can't let anyone find this. Stashes at the house. And then Matao finds it later. He's like, I saw that powder somewhere. You got to build a little scene where he finds it. And is like, what's this? That kind of thing.
I also love the idea that no one knows what this stuff is or why it's making people more productive, but the cops know that it's illegal, so they're constantly coming around to see if he's got cocaine. We know there's a giant cocaine shipment that came in from Portugal.
They're just looking for the product that went missing. They don't know what the product is, just that somehow disappeared off the dock. And now he's like, I don't know. Mm-hmm.
And he forms the cocaine into a naked lady.
The bricks.
Doing a sexy pose,
Okay, so he sneaks in. He comes in. He's like, oh, it smells like pepperoni and onions in here.
Yeah.
And then
that kills me.
Botticelli just kind of dodges that.
Yeah.
Goes, oh, how was your day, honey? And he goes, oh, it's so busy. And she goes, oh, what happened? And he goes, and then coughs up blood.
Of course, at any point when anyone's talking, they can, like, cough up blood.
Yeah.
Like, it can be anybody. The cops.
It's a good distraction.
Not even a distraction. It's just like, and then he coughed up a little blood before he said.
And then coughs up blood. Okay, perfect. And then he runs off to the bedroom dragging his, sack of cocaine.
Yeah.
He has it out in the hallway. Yeah. Keep it out.
I was going to say, like on a skid, where, like, some of the dock workers had to bring, like, 2 pallets worth of cocaine that's, like, 5 feet tall. Like, it's just over the top. Where are we going to put all this? I don't know. We got to hide it from the people. They have big ideas, and they're really productive.
Once this gets out, everyone's going to want to work twice as hard. Can't have that.
And they're all going to come up with big concepts and movie scripts.
Then they're going to be talking about these things called books in the papers. We don't like that.
Exactly.
So Mateo's out hunting for frogs. He passes the cocaine in the hallway and assumes that it's finely milled flour. So he just scoops it up and brings it in without another thought.
The finely milled flour in the witch's horror-killing recipe for tiramisu.
Yeah.
Maybe one of the things is you're supposed to use toenail powder, where you grind up toenails and turn it into a powder. And then the mom's like, I can't fuck enough guys and clip their nails to be able to do this in time. And then Mateo's like, well, there's this powder over here, and so they use that instead.
Okay.
But thank God that they didn't use toenail powder, because that would have killed
flour.
horse. Yeah.
Okay, so what's the recipe? Is it toenail powdered toenails, sugar, and frog farts. Are we happy with that?
For tiramisu, sure.
Powdered toenail powder. Okay, I like that.
I don't even know what's in
Assumes
tiramisu.
It's the
Neither do I.
it is
Yeah.
an Italian custard made with tempered eggs and sugar and mascarpone cheese, and then you layer that with ladyfingers soaked in espresso and brandy, and then you put a nice layer of cocoa powder on top. It is absolutely delicious.
Gertie actually has made this from scratch
Wow.
here at home, and I can't stand the stuff. It's just like a weird pudding.
It's delicious.
I'm not into it.
That sounds really good.
That's your problem.
Yeah,
It's so
Does it?
good. It's so good.
I've
It's so good.
I think I've only ever had. I've had bites of it from other people's tiramisu, but never any of myself. My own. My own.
Your
tiramisu.
own.
Yes. The Stella Artois hit me. I'm a lightweight. What do you want?
Go to your local
You've had
grocery
one
store.
Stella.
Oh,
You're
really?
coughing
That's
up
it?
blood. Yeah.
He's already falling apart from one Stella.
No,
We've
it's
had
it's
multiple
the,
of these
it's the tall
ridiculous
can.
things.
It's the
Yeah. No, we're hardened
25
alcoholics.
Yeah, we are.
25 ounces.
And I remember when I used to be able to drink 25 ounces, and I couldn't make it through the night. But now look at me.
25 ounces of Taylor ham would cost like roughly.
Different show.
Yeah, is this,
That's a different show.
are we
did
existing?
that.
Are we existing in the same universe now? Is that what's happening?
Exactly. All the podcasts
Yes.
are part of the same universe.
Yep. Do you ever watch a YouTube channel and you see people doing a collaboration with each other, and then you see their video promoted, and it's clearly the same day because
Yeah,
there's
right.
only so much time to do stuff.
Yeah.
So that's kind of what we're doing here.
That's what
I
we're doing
see.
today.
Yes, I see. Cross promotion.
Anyway, so,
Cross promotion.
so Mateo's hunting the frogs for the farts. He comes home, he sees the cocaine, he says, "We can just use this." Okay.
Yeah. And making some sort of joke about, like, where are we supposed to get enough toenails to grind up to make the toenail powder? And the mom's like, I can start clipping the nails off the guys I'm banging, and then, there's just not enough. I'm only going to get, like, maybe 30 toenails today at the tops.
Only like 30 toenails a day. But that means she's only banging like 3 guys a day.
Yep.
Do we want to make it a grosser number?
Oh yeah, why not?
Like a higher number.
I mean, if we're going all in,
Yeah, yeah.
how many guys does she bang?
Like
Or
we're gonna need
people?
at least 200 toenails, and she'd be like, "I don't have a
I was
week."
Yeah. What would be the amount of toenails that you think you grind up and turn into tiramisu?
So I'd
Like, then she's like, I can't do that in enough time.
yeah, I don't
I
have.
don't know. You just got to make up a number.
I'd need a whole
It'll
week
take
to do
weeks.
that. Just
to get all
some
these
ridiculous short amount of
toenails.
time where you're like, Jesus.
Or if it's like 3 cups of powdered toenail. And like, that's got to be like thousands of toenails. I can't do that in enough time.
Yeah, I don't have 4. I
Mateo
don't have
goes,
a month.
Let's just use this. Just pat her in the hallway. Okay.
And then later the witch has to say, you didn't use toenail powder? Well, no wonder you're still alive. Or maybe you're not a prostitute like I thought you were. Like, she never really knows for sure.
Golly, that would have been terrible.
Yeah.
If I'd accidentally killed you and you weren't.
Unless.
You weren't a prostitute.
Yeah.
What do they think was bringing the plague into... Well, they don't think it's a plague, do they? Or are we running with that joke where they think everything is just a form of scurvy?
Yeah, why not?
Okay, so then I was just wondering, do they also believe that flies bring scurvy, so they're always smacking flies on the walls and stuff with their ladle? You can make that excuse. I don't know. I'm just running with a thing here, but I'm sidetracking us with unimportant things.
Well, let's flesh out the actions, and then we can fill in gaps here.
Sure.
Because we have the transition of events, right? It opens with the mom and Mateo and an allusion to her being a whore. And then the evil neighbor comes over and they're like, oh, well, can we have a recipe? And she gets this ridiculous recipe. They're trying to find this stuff. Meanwhile, the father's over at the wharfs. He accidentally gets a load of cocaine.
Yeah.
Okay, so now we're in a position where Mateo and Botticelli have the cocaine in their possession and they're going to cook with it.
Yeah.
But meanwhile, Zaffron's looking for his window to continue to further hide the cocaine.
Sure.
So does he like sneak out of his window to the hallway so he doesn't even notice that Mateo's come across it?
Oh, I would say that maybe
I'm thinking like Zany's sitcom, you know?
Like one of the dock workers has this bunch of bricks of cocaine, and he sets up some kind of winch system with a beat sheet. Jesus Christ, what am I doing? With a bed sheet.
Beat sheet?
And he throws it outside, and he pulls it up.
I was thinking the same thing. Like,
window.
He's trying to get it up in the window, but every time anyone walks in the room, he's like, "Oh, hold on, I'm taking a shit," even though it's not the bathroom. Like, you can't poop in the house there.
They don't have bathrooms. They would just shit in a little pot. So honestly, that makes sense.
There you go. Yeah.
It's like, I'm taking a shit. Don't come in.
I'm throwing shit out the window here.
Even though it's actually their kitchen. He's like, hold on, I'm taking a shit.
I'm throwing my shit and piss out the window. You don't want to come in here for that. And then,
Yeah, exactly.
So every time Botticelli opens the door, they have to lower the winch.
Yeah.
So it's this game of like keeping the load of cocaine out of sight of the window.
Yeah, exactly.
And he has to keep them at bay with an ever more exaggerated story of what's happening with his shit that he threw out the window.
Oh,
yeah.
So
it's all blocked up. I think there's a kernel of corn that's blocking the opening.
Like I threw it out the window here. You don't want that. Oh my God! It landed on someone. I got to talk to them. They're coming in here killing everybody. And then you just put more bricks on. I need to get this all in right now.
I love that. It just dropped on someone's head. Well, now they're disoriented. No, it looks like they just slapped someone's baby out of their hand, like just making up this whole scenario that's not happening.
Well, I need to get an apron. I need to get an apron out of the bedroom or wherever he is, and he could be like, "Just hold on. I think they're an aristocrat." And then he's trying to
an aristocrat.
It's like they're very mad. I believe he said. I believe he name dropped the king, and then he's trying to.
There you go. Exactly.
Perfect.
All right, so he's got a comedy of errors happening with his cocaine. So he finally gets the cocaine in the place, and then what does he do? Does he say, like, I'm going to be real quiet for a while, don't come in here because I'm really struggling pooping? Then he slides out the window to what? Get more cocaine? Bring it back up in?
He now, once he gets the cocaine in the room, he starts forming it to look like a lady to best hide it.
Oh, yeah.
But Botticelli and Mateo are now baking with some of the cocaine that he snagged on the way up. But they don't know it's cocaine, so they're going to start hotboxing their kitchen with cocaine vapors.
Hold on. So maybe he sculpts a woman, right? And she's like standing in kind of a sexy pose. And then there's still a big pile of cocaine at the foot of this woman. And so then, like, Botticelli and Mateo walk in. They're like, oh, I've never met you before. And then, Botticelli's like, no, she must be new. She must have been hired, whatever. And it's like, hey, can we use some of that powder at your foot? And the woman doesn't answer because she's a cocaine statue. And then they use some of that. But the dad's, like, slipped out the window or something like that. So he doesn't know that they're using the cocaine to make the cake.
So I was thinking that Mateo would grab it on the way up from collecting frog farts. But instead...
Well, he's been trying to get it in the window of the kitchen this whole time, pretending to take a shit. That maybe he's formed it into a woman. He's like, I got to get out of here. I got to find out what else to do with the rest of this pile of coke at the foot of this woman I've formed out of cocaine.
I don't understand what you're saying. So, because I'm imagining this like winching where the friend is like lifting the cocaine, and as he's trying to grab it, someone keeps opening the door. And he's like, "Stop! I got to shit." Or, I just tossed it onto an aristocrat's head. Yeah. So finally, they do whatever they have to do. Whatever the reason is that Botticelli's trying to enter the room at all.
Here you go.
He finally gets everyone out. He collects the cocaine off the platform and then creates a woman's body.
Yeah. But maybe there's some left over.
He gets,
that he didn't make into a... Sorry, go ahead.
Well, he forms a lady, but he does it like on the bed, or maybe on the bed, and then one of the bags rips open. And it starts to spill on the ground. He's like, shit! And then, so he doesn't have a broom because, they're poor and shit. So he's like, I gotta... And he yells down. He's like, I gotta borrow your broom. And he's like, I don't have the broom here. You gotta go to my house. So he's like, all right, I'll come with you. We'll get the broom. My wife's not gonna let you use our broom. So he's like, let me talk to her. So he jumps down the window. Then Mateo comes in and he's like, hey! Sees the pile of cocaine that's leaked out of the bag that's... There's a lady on the bed. He sees whores all the time. Prostitutes. Sorry.
Yeah.
So he's like,
he
sorry,
doesn't know
ma'am.
that it's a fake woman. He thinks it's a real woman.
Yeah, he's like, sorry, ma'am. I didn't mean to interrupt. He's like, hey, Mom, what's that flower stuff look like? And she's like, it's like a white powder, and it's fine. He's like, I think I got some. And then he scrapes it off the floor, and he walks in with it in his hand. He's like, is that what it is?
Yeah, does this look like toenail powder?
Yeah, there you go.
And so then,
Like,
but then this
perfect.
way, the dad doesn't know that the tiramisu has cocaine in it. He's going off to go get a broom or whatever to try and clean up the rest of the
climbs
mess.
up through the window with the broom, and he's like, where'd it go?
He thinks he's doing the perfect crime because he's just like... He's like, don't come in. I'm going to take a shit, but I'm going to be real quiet for a while. Don't come in here. Then he leaps out the window, goes and gets a broom, comes back. The cocaine's gone, and he sees the doors open. Or no, not even the doors open. Just whatever. He's like, okay, the perfect crime. Where'd the cocaine go? Oh, okay, well, I guess it's not my problem.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then maybe even he's like, oh, I'm sorry, Anna. Oh, no, I made you. You're a fake woman.
Well, he sees the cocaine's gone, so he goes to the kitchen where he hears them baking, and it's this, like, he's trying to figure out what they're doing because he's trying to find out where the cocaine went.
That's right.
And they're being secretive because it's a secret cake.
That's right.
He's not
Tiramisu,
supposed
but
to
yes.
know that they're making it.
Yeah. Perfect.
Oh, see, that's the thing.
We got it all
Mateo,
figured out.
He could find the. Well, he would go into the room. The dad would be gone because he would be like, Dad, where did? And then he'd be like, Hey, and spot the pile. So then he would realize the dad's gone, and maybe they could expedite the cake because he's like, he's not in there, and they're more worried about making the cake than finding out where he went.
Yeah. True. Okay.
Maybe he's
perfect.
Maybe he sneaks out to go have a drink with his buddies down by the wharf. I don't know.
Oh, yeah. No, during the whole winch scene, he's acting like they're busting down the door trying to see what he's doing, and when in reality, they're not paying attention even a little bit.
There you go.
Yeah, because he's just so paranoid.
And he's just yelling for no reason.
Yeah.
He's just
Maybe
like,
the doors open a crack, and like the wind keeps making the door like half closed and half open. He's like, stay out of here. I'm taking a shit, but no one's listening. No one cares.
they're in the kitchen. They're like, what is he yelling at?
Yeah, exactly. I love that he escapes out the window to go get a broom and like a dustbin or whatever, but then he gets distracted and just drinks for a while at the wharf.
Yeah.
He comes back 4 hours later.
It's distracted.
Where'd all that
That's
coke
an
go?
excellent idea.
And he's like, the perfect crime. No one knows what I did. They still thought I was in this place the whole time.
He's like, I think I caught a little bit of that, and you know what I'd like a lot right now? Maybe a beer. A little bit.
Gets a little nose candy.
Yeah.
He's like, oh boy, you know what I should do? I should get a dustbin, and then I should take that dustbin and maybe start my own dustbin company, because if it starts doing coke talk, it jumps out the window.
Yeah.
The future is in dustpans, people. I'm telling you.
Exactly. I love that everyone that gets near the coke starts doing coke talk, just rambling with big ideas.
Yeah. Patience.
I should make a trout at like 3 a.m. Everyone should be eating trout at 3 a.m. It's good for your body.
Yeah. No, he's coke talking at a bar patron, but the bar patron's just kind of disinterested at best, and at worst is coughing up blood.
Oh yeah, of course. They all cough up blood. Every time anyone speaks, there's like a moment where they cough up a little bit of blood.
Okay, perfect. So then he finally makes his way home, and they're trying to make this torta. They're baking with the cocaine. There's a whole comedy of errors where Zaffron's trying to figure out what they're doing. He's like looking over his shoulders and trying to figure out what's happening, and they're trying to hide it from him. So what do they say that it is? What do they say that they're doing?
Well, they're getting coked up. So suddenly, Mateo is talking about... Basically, he wants to invent silly putty, but he doesn't know what silly putty is. Like, what if you had this like mixture that you could squish around in your hand, you could form it into almost anything? And just like, they're just, Mom and Mateo are just fucking jacked up and just speed talking.
Okay.
And so he's like, what are you guys making? He's like, we're making a new substance you can do for fun. You can like if they got to make newspapers, so got to make a print machine, and then you can actually put this stuff on there and pull it off, and it actually has a copy of it on the putty.
Oh, no.
It's gonna break all the rules.
He's a kid.
Yeah, but none of them can read.
None of them can read, and also like there is no newspapers yet, so they're talking about like 5 steps before.
It's like
That's hilarious.
There should be like no entertainment back then. So he's like, "Do you ever follow a cat?" Do you want to follow a cat? We should totally follow a cat right now. And then they just...
You ever just see what they go do?
We need to get a cat. And then they're just so into following a cat around that they're just like, have you seen a cat?
Whoa. What if we charge people to follow cats, right? Then we make enough money that we can actually get like a giant area that's fenced in where we just keep nothing but cats. People can follow cats all day long. They can come, pay some money, and they can follow cats. We're going to make so much fucking money, dude. We're going to change lives. It's just like this whole thing while they're like making this tiramisu.
There's gonna be entire books, man, novels written, those pages in the binders. There's gonna be stories about what they found when they followed cats, man. It's gonna be amazing.
I love the follow cat idea. That cracks me up.
So are they going to... Is he talking about following cats to the bar patron?
Oh, no, this is Mateo and the mom just talking back and forth to each other.
So Mateo and the mom...
They're just coke talking.
Are talking about following cats. But is the dad talking about silly putty to the bar patron?
It could be that if you want.
Silly putty.
Maybe not silly putty.
Well, does he come home from the bar and it's his surprise birthday party?
Yeah.
Because I feel like we've hit what we need to hit, no?
We kind of have. We could drag it out where it's like, what are you guys making? And then they're coke talking and lying. But that might just waste time. He could be, by the time he comes back. Also, it doesn't have to be silly putty. Elton seems to be onto something. The idea that they have nothing fun to do, so following a cat is entertainment. You got another idea up your sleeve that he could do instead of the silly putty at the bar?
I think
to the bar patron order? I
think you can have through ancillary. What the hell are they? Through peripheral characters. You can have the guy at the wharf talking about how books are the future. And then they're all like, dude, he is fucking off his shit. And then so the peripheral characters, while they talk to the main characters are going through their ordeals, every once in a while someone will be like, I heard from a guy that books are the future. And so they're going to be everywhere
Mateo's
soon.
Dad.
And so
Mateo's dad is all coked up, and he's like down at the bar. Just like, seriously, dude, it's like words on paper. He's like, won't shut up about it.
Everyone's going to know what it says, man. And then
yeah.
And then the mom, while Mateo's talking about following cats, she's like, I heard from a neighbor. You ready for this? Typing on paper, kid. Like typing on paper, it's the future. It's wild.
I love that there's this running theme of books are going to be a thing soon. I swear to God. They're all coked up. Like, it's just kind of spreading around like a virus where suddenly everyone's kind of talking. Especially when they all get coked up. They can't let go of the idea of like, seriously, dude, books. It's going to be the future. Everyone's going to have one.
Yeah. They're all going to have covers. You know those Bibles the priests read out of? We're going to have them soon. That's crazy, right?
Does the cop show up and say, I need to see your home?
Yeah, we need to have the cops involved. That's the reason why he made it into a woman to begin with. So
a cop shows up at the bar looking for Saffron. And then
sounds like a food.
Insists that he check his home because they're looking for this cocaine. So they walk into the home.
Yeah.
And everyone jumps out. Surprise!
Oh,
because it's a surprise birthday party.
Yeah. Sure. Mm-hmm. And then... But it would be funny if everyone says surprise, but they've all got white powder all over their nose and faces and stuff, and it's like on the walls.
Yeah, they've been freebasing cocaine for hours, the vapors. So now the cop's high.
Yeah, the cop gets high. And he's got great ideas about police reform.
Yeah, and he needs to hit on the cocaine lady for him.
Yeah, that's true. He's got to hit on the cocaine lady. How does that gag work out?
Let's joking like that it's an inside, like it's a just well-known. So are we thinking that Mateo's dad doesn't know that his mom is a prostitute?
Yeah, he doesn't know.
Okay.
Nobody knows except for Mateo and the mom.
Okay.
And the dad doesn't know he lives in a brothel. Just like the witch doesn't either.
And the cop.
Well, then it's not a brothel. Then it's just their apartment that
no,
she
it's a
fucks
brothel.
people.
Everyone on every floor is fucking and bringing in clients. Clients are coming and going.
So
all the
everyone
time.
else knows that it's a brothel
Because they're all whores.
Except for
do the police know it's a
Except
brothel?
for the witch and the dead.
Yes, they would have
I was thinking
to.
the police would have to know it's a brothel.
Yeah.
Because the original joke was the police were like, I think I know you're a prostitute. And the dad's like, what? And the witch lady's like, I knew it. Or,
Oh.
But no, yeah.
You should...
So there's clients coming and going, and it's a brothel, like active, 24 hours a day.
do you want to cap the episode with them all finding out it's a brothel? 'Cause you could do that. You could just have the cops come in and be like,
certainly could.
Everybody's at the birthday party. Everybody, surprised, and then you got the witchy neighbor lady there, and everybody's there. And then the cops show up. Like, he shows up with the cops. The dad shows up with the cops. Saffron or stuff.
Yeah.
He shows up with the cops. And he opens the door. Everyone yells surprise. And everyone's like, fucked up. And I just think it'd be hilarious if one of the people at the party, have them be a lot of neighbors there. And just one of them is like, I don't know if you know this, but this party's been going on for years. Because they're all fucked up. And then the cops can be like, did you know, like, this is a whorehouse? And then the witch lady could be like, I knew it!
Exactly.
Oh, no, like
so
the witch
maybe
lady
the
would be like, wait, no, just she's the whore. And like the cop's like, no, this whole place has prostitutes in every room. And she's like, what?
So the witch confronts Botticelli and goes, I guess you're not a whore because you ate that whole torta.
Yeah.
And they could be like, do you know you live in a whorehouse? And the dad can be like, no wonder the rent was so cheap. And then,
Yeah. He's like, no, well, your wife is one of them. You go, what?
Yeah.
But the witch and the dad are like, what? At some point.
Yeah.
It would be funny if the whole Coke thing doesn't become the closing point of the story. It becomes that they all get discovered that they're prostitutes.
Yeah.
Like, no, everyone in that place is a whore. No, this is a whorehouse. Everyone's a prostitute. And they're like, what?
And then the witch is like,
Yeah.
The witch is like, well, no, just she's the prostitute. I always suspected her. And the cop's like, no, everyone in this building is a prostitute. Don't you notice that men are coming and going all the time?
Yeah.
And she's like, what? And then the dad's like, wait a minute. Are you trying to say that my wife and I live in a house of whatever?
Ill repute.
Brothel or whatever? And it's like, well, actually, your wife is a prostitute. And he goes, what? And then, like,
what?
maybe even
busted her a
Matao
few
gets
times.
something.
What's her name? Oh, yeah,
Like-
Botticelli. Like, we busted her a few times. Hey, Botticelli.
Oh, yeah.
She's like,
we
what's up,
all
fellas?
know Botticelli, and then they wink. Yeah.
We've not only arrested her, but we've also had her. And then they'll, maybe that's when Matao goes, what?
and then you cap the whole
walks up
thing.
and coughs blood.
You cap the whole thing when everyone's in shock looking at each other.
Yeah.
And then one person at the
Stunt
party is
sounds.
like, I heard that books are the future.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
Maybe it's like the bartender.
Like some books, right? And then coughs up blood, and then it's done.
Yeah, somebody comes in like it's like all strung out. Guys, people are talking about books. Books are going to change the entire world, and coughs up blood. And that's it.
Yeah.
yeah, you heard this books are the future thing? And then,
Well, okay. It looks like we did it.
I like this.
We've got this whole story. Now, poor Gertie's going to sit down and write all of it. She loves writing them.
Love it, writing.
So
I'm terrible at writing
then, we'll
stories.
have the... Oh, I know. Me too. I have no patience
This
for
is
it.
the hard part, is outlining all of it. So thank
Oh,
you for
really?
your help. Yeah.
Yeah, well, thank you.
Yeah.
And thank sweet Elton.
Sweet Elton.
Any-
So I guess
any
we'll have
for giving us the majority of your day.
I know.
Oh, no, it's pretty equal at this point. Have we taken up more of your day, or did the smorgasbord?
no, it's been about equal. It's fine. It's Saturday. I'm good.
It's a
That's a
couple
good
hours.
Saturday.
Yeah, it's a good Saturday.
Yeah, too much buffet.
It's a productive
and then,
Saturday. I got writing to do for my thing, and I might record it. Maybe, I don't know. It's going to be very productive.
Oh, whoa, look at you.
I know.
Wow,
I feel
triple
very,
books.
very Let's wrap up this episode. So we've got our story. We'll have a follow-up episode where I read it, which, Elton, you can be invited onto, because Anytime.
it's always a mystery. I don't read what Gertie's written until it's live on the air, and we basically make a little audiobook right there on the spot with it. And then yeah, so we'll bug you later about that. Everyone, thanks for listening, and weeks from now we'll have the episode where Gertie has written it.
Not weeks. I'll figure it out.
All right, fine.
Okay, bye.
Okay, bye.
Bye-bye.
Want to contact us? Don't. This isn't about you. But if you have to, my email is glenn.nuzzles, Nuzzles, @gmail.com. You can also find us on Twitter, @HouseNuzzle. But don't bother us, because we're too busy working.